Okay, so the first place tonight I'm actually going to begin is I'm going to begin in the Memory Book Online program, and first kind of go over the setup of what you see in here. So right now I am at our welcome page when you first log in to the Memory Book Online program. Now this year, when advisors go into plan, one of the links that you'll see up here this year is a link for ReplayIt. And if we click on this, this is going to take us into the ReplayIt website setup. Now, when your Memory Book Online account is created, this setup and your ReplayIt site is enabled at the same time. Now, if we're looking at the setup here, not much here in the setup to do. When you first come in here, you will see that your ReplayIt enabled is already checked. And what this other message says here is if ReplayIt is not enabled, any previous year's ReplayIt time capsules will remain active. Being that this is the first year, there's nothing to draw back on. So really everyone's enabled this year. So going into this year, when you're on both sites and they're looking at the photo stream, you're seeing anything that's current or anything that's getting put up there. Now, next year, whenever you go into your 2019 accounts, I'm assuming this will be checked too. However, if it is not, then what people, users still on the site and their account, when they get into this, they will still be seeing last year's photo. So it might be come next year in 2019, we really need to check to make sure this is enabled. Just make sure everybody's seeing the current school year's photos as they're going along, because this is really what this is. It's helping getting pictures and images and memories into the yearbook, but at the same time, people can kind of see some of this as it goes along, and people can kind of see the school year unfold as it's happening. And that way it brings, more sense of community. Everyone can see what's going on, everyone can share. Now, the next spot down is the full name of the school. This is just kind of my demo for this. This name will be seen once you're inside the app and once you're inside the desktop site. Later, when we show you what you're looking for in the app, in the school list, what we've come to find is when we're searching for some school names, you might have to kind of look for the legal name of the school. In case if your school normally goes by Jefferson Elementary or something, you could actually find it in the list as Thomas Jefferson Elementary or so on, or Washington Elementary, and it's actually George Washington Elementary or something like that. So we'll touch back here because mine is actually just named ReplayIt Demo, but it actually does have a different name when I'm looking for it on the site or on the app. Down below, we have a spot for site access. And with site access, all of your accounts start off unrestricted. And what this means is basically at that moment, whenever this is set up, users can go out there, any user can go through, find the school, and create an account and be able to upload photos into your ReplayIt. And we'll come into the yearbook program. Now, down below, there's a spot where you can make this password required. What this will do is if you make this password required, then when people, after they find the school in the app and they go to then make an account, well, they can't create an account until they have this password. And that password is really going to be only something you, the advisor, knows, and you can then hand that out to people in the community that you trust, or I only want some don't want just everybody to upload photos. I mean, you want to keep it to where parents, teachers, or that. So this is where you get to kind of be a little more selective on who you want adding photos to ReplayIt. Down below, their primary school color. This is, if you change this, basically it changes just certain accenting buttons and highlights there within the app and the desktop site. So it just kind of makes it kind of a little more special to your school if you get like your main color going through there. Now down below, it's enable ads within ReplayIt. If this is enabled, there is a in the photos section, there's an actual folder called ReplayIt ads. And if you upload to it, and we'll show you that here when we get into the photos later on, if you enable this, there's a in that folder, if you upload, let's say certain businesses send you flyers or send you images of their business card, JPEG images, JPEG flyers, you can upload them to this site, or into this folder, I mean, and then they will display on the photo stream that's there with ReplayIt. And that's just a way, they can get advertising out. That can also kind of draw extra business to their school. You can even use it for your own school events. Put in like if you're having any fundraisers or any kind of events at the school, you want to make a flyer and put it on there. You can make up, if your PTA, PTO is holding some kind of event, you've got a flyer for that. I think that would be a really good spot to put that in. Now, if you do make any changes within here, then you just go down and click Save Changes after that, and that'll update this information. Two other links that you'll see here. You'll have advisors have a direct link in from this spot, and that's right here. I'm going to touch back on this in just a second. The other one is the ReplayIt private photo submission. What this will take you to is if you click on this, it actually takes you over to your image share setup. Now, for many of those have been advisors that have been with us for a while. Image share is a private photo submission that we've had for the longest time. Basically, images up. You can still set this up. Both ReplayIt and image share run alongside of each other. Image share is just basically images uploaded through image share go directly into the yearbook program. No one it's the photos uploaded here. They're not shown in ReplayIt. So this may be good if you want to still keep, if you're worried about certain photos, like, well, I want it just certain photos special to the yearbook only. Whereas with ReplayIt, anyone can see what's uploaded there. And there is a few exceptions. We'll talk on that. But if you are concerned or are one of those that you really do want to keep certain things just kind of a surprise and in the final product, this would probably be the way to go. Just set up image share. And both are there, both run alongside each other. And the images that go through image share, they actually upload to the same spot as the ReplayIt images. But just wanted to show you all that quick to let you know that if you want to keep things kind of surprise for the yearbook itself, image share is probably a good way to go there too. But back to ReplayIt, and now back to this link here. So if you're an advisor that's already in and you kind of want to see what's going on the site, you can click on this link. And it's going to take us into our site. So this is just the desktop side of things. What everyone sees once they first log in, because what you do have to do, if someone just goes to this ReplayIt site here, they will either have to sign in with their account, or if this is their first time coming here, they'll have to register. And I can show you a little bit of that. But for advisors mainly, that's a direct way in. You can see this is your photo stream. This is your timeline of that photo stream down below. Now, as you when you're in your account, you can start hovering over, and you'll see these tags: sports, student life, sport, different other things here. Now, some of these fall into these main categories that are up here, and some of these are from creating those categories within MemoryBook Online. Now, as the more and more people upload images, you will see this timeline. You will see all of these change up. Now, if you're not getting enough photos into this, the program automatically generates just standard stock images that fill in here. So if you hover over some of these images and you don't see any tags, that's just primarily it's a stock photo that's just program generated. It's a whole bunch of paid images that were put in here to kind of fill in content. Your own images, when you see them, when you hover over them, they'll have these tags and you can kind of see what's under those. So I clicked on sports and it's going to pick up, any image that was tagged with sports. You can get to those, just these same links up at the top. Academics, it'll show you all that. You want to get back to the main photo stream, we'll just hit ReplayIt logo and they'll take us back. You also do have the timeline down below, so you can kind of click back. As we click back on some of this, you'll see the timeline kind of change up to more of the photos that were uploaded in that time period. So on our demo itself, we probably need to upload some more because we got a lot of stock images. Hopefully, as yours gets going along, being your alls will not be demos, you should see this jam-packed full. Now within here, advisors can still go in and hit submit pics. Now what I'll probably do here real quick, okay, let's just submit a pic here from the desktop site here. It's pretty quick and simple way to go through. Now you can, when you go through here, you can select multiple photos. If you're on a PC, you'll just hold down your control key and click all that you want. If you're on a Mac, it's command. But you'll go and really click submit images. Right here, there is a pause before you post, kind of a message. It's kind of one of those kind of reminders. What are you uploading? Will anyone be embarrassed? Is this appropriate for the school? Is this something I'm proud of? So it's kind of one of those kind of conscious reminders of what you have. So user will go in, select My Images. And let me get to some pictures here. All right. And I'm just going to select one here. All right, so once you have a photo selected, now if you have more than one photo, you will see those listed down beneath this right under here. Okay. Now as far as, I just kind of saw some questions pop up in the chat line. Probably we'll go through this and I'll get back to some of those questions back when we get to Q&A. So I'll just kind of keep that one highlighted, and when we get back to the end of this, we'll kind of address some of these questions here. And hopefully as we go along, maybe it does kind of clear some of those up. But yeah, once you selected a photo, you see it here, you can then start the upload process. Now when you get into this section, it'll want you to choose a category for this photo, and it's really wanting you, when you're on the site, when you're on the desktop side of things, to kind of go through and choose one of those main categories. So this just looks like student life to me. You can also make your own tags here. Because the boys in those photos are holding apples that have little candles in them. So Apple Craft Day, Apple Candids. I'm going to add those. Then over here to the people, you can kind of list out the main person that's kind of in that photo. You get to pick the grade. Okay, so and if you have multiple people, you can go on. You can add a caption. And this caption spot can tell what's going on, can tell who's in it, can actually, you'll want people to, kind of tell what's going on. That way, once it gets into the yearbook program, you can then see, they'll kind of help you sort them and where you want them to be. Okay, now once we have this, and there's a date taken, you can do that. As I scroll down here, there's a finish tagging spot, so I'll hit finish tagging. And then we'll get this message that, one photo has been submitted for review. What this does is submitted photos go through like a software check that I think it's looking for obscenities, gestures, content that may not be suitable for a yearbook program. I'm not really sure what the software is looking for there, but I just know it goes through a check. I've had, I think something I did try to do like a copyrighted image or something, and it didn't take. Now I never really was sure why it didn't take on that. But most of the time I haven't seen anything really too bad get rejected here. So once it's gone, it's going to take a little bit. It has to go through that review process. Normally within 5 minutes or so, then you'll start to see it there on the site. So I'm going to go into continue. Now, under my account, there are some other features in here. There's a my account dropdown. So you can see there's your account. You can see my account. You can have notifications that'll show you, if an upload was successful, and it'll show you if it wasn't. So that was something a couple weeks back. Not sure why it didn't go through. Feedback. You could pop in email address and let us know what you think there. Other down here, like I said, notifications. It's just going through these other tabs that you see here. Another spot that you have down here is change school. What this is good for is if when you're in here, let's say that you're either the advisor has children in different schools, or this is really good for parents that, let's say, for instance, let's say I have an elementary student and a middle school student. I could have both. I could add both schools here, and that way, I could then add photos to my elementary kiddo, and I can add photos into for my middle school. Basically, when you're on here, I've done one earlier. If we go down to change school, we can add new school. And then you can kind of search for that school, name, city, state. All right. So there's that one. And then there's also this kind of close to my area, so I know that this one actually is one that is for the school. What I've noticed sometimes with certain schools, they might show up a little bit twice here. Some schools, for some reason, like a K through 12 schools, sometimes will show both for some reason. Under this, the Smith High School one I know is working here, so I'm going to add that. Okay, so for this one, I actually know that school, that one has a password, and that's kind of going back to that that password spot that I saw. So if you don't have the password, it's not going to let you add that there. So I'm going to close out here. But That's a really neat feature, though, for if you do have, kiddos at different age ranges, elementary, middle school, high school. Good way you can bounce between them and support all schools just through the single app that you have in our desktop site. Okay. Now, whoa. Now what I'm going to show you here is I'm just going to bring up the iPad, and we're going to take a look at this from the app side of things. And the app side of things it's pretty smooth going through. So we'll go into our app. Now, earlier in my setup, my ReplayIt school was called just ReplayIt Demo. Now, as you're finding it in the app, this is where I say you might have to kind of look for, the legal name sometimes, but mine was actually put in as ReplayIt Demo 2017-18. Now, first going into this, users will see connect to, and you do have this agreement. Make sure that you're at least 13 years or older, and then you just agree. We'll make it a quick account here real quick. We'll put in a password. We'll then confirm that password. I might have done that at another time. Sorry for that delay there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now that we're in, we'll go back. We're seeing the same photo stream as we had. It's a little bit different of a layout here on this photo stream. As photos come in, you'll be able to kind of scroll down and check them out there. Here's our photo that we just saw. So as you pull up on the app, you'll see, the tag. I put in what the caption was. I guess that's a name for who took the photo, but here's all the different tags that came under it, who's in the photo. You can tag, share, like it here. But just wanted to show you some of the details and show you that that's the photo that just came in recently. So when you're on the app side of things, want to get going and take a photo, down below, we'll click on Take Photo. And then here, you can choose off, any photos that you've downloaded to your device or what's in your camera roll. But you'll just select your photo, go to Next. As before, when you click category, you have to choose from one of those 5 main categories that were there. That one's more sports, date. We'll do some tags. So we're going to add a tag here. And then we have to click add our tag. We'll click on our spot there. So now we have a new tag. Go back. We can add people we want, we do actually, it's required over here. So I'm just going to do another. As I recall, I think I had them in there. Okay, so we'll add in our person, hit done. Now, if there is more than one person, you can hit the plus sign, add another name. So we'll have both people's names there. We can go back. We can add a caption. Okay, so once we have our category, our date, our tags, and all that, and we'll then go to track and field, and we can hit upload. And the same thing here is it just goes through that check, and one can then hit continue. And then from there, you can go on to upload more photos there on the device. Under the more option on the app, you still have those other options that you had. You can see this here, you have My Pics, which you can see just what you've uploaded. So it can see that I've got one pending there. You have your notifications. Well, not yet because that hasn't fully uploaded. We can manage schools again if you wanted to add another school to go to. There's support, and there's also logout under there. So the app is pretty quick and easy to use there. It's good with iPhones, iPads, Android tablets and phones. One thing I will show those, if you do have an iPad, one thing I will show you when you go out to the App Store here. Now, if you're on an iPhone or any kind of phone, that app will pull up really quick. But I'm going to type in ReplayIt and search. Now, what I have found is if you're on an iPad like I am, when you first type in ReplayIt, it may show no results. All you have to do is go up to the top corner where it says iPad only, come down to iPhone only, and there's the app that's there. And then this is the same one I've downloaded onto my iPad, and I mean it's made for both. It's not really iPhone only. I don't know why it just sticks in there. But just wanted for those that do have iPads, just wanted to show you that quick that's you just have to switch it to iPhone only, and then you'll be able to go and open and download the app. Okay, and in that amount of time, just a few short minutes there, we see that track and field picture uploaded. So here's both how you'll upload off the desktop site and how you'll use the actual app on a smart device. So I'm going to turn this back off for a moment. And so now that you've seen the desktop site and the app, now it's going to show you where do those photos go in your MemoryBook Online program. So I'm going to switch back over to MemoryBook Online, and then I'm going to go into Photos. All right, and this is just telling about the new folder options that we have this year. Okay. All right, so when images upload or come in off of ReplayIt, and you're here in MemoryBook Online, all images that are uploaded through the desktop site or through the app, they all fall into this inbox ReplayIt. And there's not a way to designate folders to where they go to, because what you will see under activity, you do have that academics, that clubs, sports, student life that are there. What these are just the main kind of categories that come with it. And what these are kind of here for is they're just kind of already there to where if you're in the yearbook program here and you upload images to that, the images that you upload into this will then show on the app or the photo stream on the desktop site from there. So it was a little confusing at first of how come they weren't going here, but then they kind of figure out, okay, they kind of play a different way. If you upload to a ReplayIt folder, you'll then see it on the ReplayIt site and app. So anything that's coming in here, you will have to sort them out to your different areas, and you can sort them back into, drag and drop and sort them back into a ReplayIt folder. You can also, create just a regular category here. Oh, because we already have. Well, let's do this. Fall sports. And we can even move one of those into there. Now, images that are uploaded off of ReplayIt, you'll see have these little originated. So it's going to show you where this image came from. They all have these. So I'm going to move that down into sports. I can go to clubs. I can actually take these to other folders. Now, if they still have this little originated on, even if you move them outside of a ReplayIt folder, anything that's originated on ReplayIt will still show on ReplayIt. Now, there is a way that if something is uploaded to ReplayIt, and it's through the app, through the desktop site, let's say you did get an image that comes through and you don't want it showing on the site or app, or you're just like, well, really wanted that to be a secret for the yearbook, or ooh, I don't want that photo up there at all. It may be embarrassing in that. There is a way to mark those not to show. And you can only do this once you sort the image out of a category. So once you move it out and you're in a folder, you then can go up here and you'll see this ReplayIt button here, and it has a little X. So if we click on that, what that does, that's now telling the ReplayIt app and site not to show that photo. Now, when you click and mark that in here, oftentimes it's pretty quick to show this on the desktop site to sync through. It may take a few, it's sometimes kind of pretty quick on the desktop side of things not to show. Now on the app, an image will still be there. Let's say someone deletes an image off the program side and you're in the app. Well, that image is still going to show in the app, and it's still going to show in your photo stream up until you log out. So that may be one kind of thing to consider on certain images, that just to realize, you may have got it taken care of in the program. You may know where it's not showing on the desktop site, but there may be still some of those that may be able to see it just because they haven't, haven't logged out on the desktop side of things. So I can show that real quick. See, that's my little guy that I told not to go. However, I've got to then log out. And let's hope I remember that login. Okay, no, I messed that up because I don't remember I don't know if I did Yahoo or Gmail. I'm sorry there, folks. Tahoo. Yahoo. I'm the Yahoo at the moment. I don't know what I did there. Well, okay. I'm sorry, folks. I had to create an account there on the fly, and I messed that up there. Um, but yeah, it once you log out, you used Yahoo. Thank you there. I saw the comments there. I was wondering if I didn't put in as like I don't. Yes, maybe. Oh, hold on. I'm not gonna take too much time on this here. We're getting kind of away. Yeah, I'm sorry there, folks. But yes, once on the app side of things, just to clarify, it'll stay there up until you log out. And when you log back in, then that kind of breaks that connection. That disappears. Now, some other things here, as we get back to our photos here, you can make replay it folders. You can go up to activity and hit new. You can make replay it folder in there. Now what this is anything that's then uploaded to this folder, even though it's not an image that originated from ReplayIt, you can upload to these folders, and then those images will then show on the site. So kind of pretty neat on how that works there. And earlier when in the setup when we talked about ads, in the ReplayIt ads, we found you can't really just kind of drag and drop into that folder. You actually have to upload ads directly to it. You can't move anything to it. But these are a couple ads I kind of played with, and then some of you might have seen those. There's one. So I got my ReplayIt ads, and then you can see those ads on the site here. So, local businesses, if you want to advertise, or like I said before, if you have PTO events or stuff like that, you want to make sure people get the word off. That's just another way you can get that communication out there to people. Okay, so at this moment, we've gone through the setup, uploading on the desktop site, uploading through the app, and then coming through and showing where the images come into. The fact that you can sort them, and you'll see that where they originated from. And we've gone over how to make certain images not show, and kind of the time expectancy on that. And that's pretty much ReplayIt in a nutshell there. So everything uploads, falls into a main inbox. You're then good to sort it from there. You then have folders that you can upload to, and or make ReplayIt folders to upload to, and then those images will show on the site. At this time, we've pretty much covered the material that we're going over tonight. And now at this time, I'm going to open this up to some Q&A. I'm going to get back to some of these questions. If you do have questions that we'd like in the Q&A, I am going to take everybody kind of off mute here at the moment. Now, if you feel the chat line's better to address that question in, I can see all those there, and that may be the easier way to go. So if you do have some questions at the moment, feel free, get those in there. I'm going to go over with some of the other questions some of our other users have here. First one here is, so the folders in the yearbook program will show up as categories for people to tag and ReplayIt. Not really on that. You kind of always have to choose from those 5 main ones that are there. However, when you go, you can make categories here and then see them on the site. It just won't let you select from anything that you've made there. One thing I did want to show you all is when you go to sort these, or if you have trouble sorting these or need help sorting these, that some of that information in the program, if we go onto an image and go into its details, at the bottom of your details, it'll show you kind of the ReplayIt people, the ReplayIt tags, and if you're kind of what's going on. So that's going to allow either you, the advisor, to help sort, or if you have a yearbook class and you need to assign some of that down to your kiddos, that's the sorting's that's a pretty good job for them. They can go through there and they can at least help you get those sorted, and that kind of leaves you, the advisor, to do some of the bigger tasks, the bigger idea items there. But wanted to just show you that to let you know that's where that information comes in to help you sort from there. Okay, next one, I do have a question that was kind of more of a tech support issue here. It's I entered pictures into ReplayIt, but they never showed up in MemoryBook. Okay, I tell you what, on that, and sorry if I call you out here, Kathleen, if you could email our technical support at memorybook.com address. And if you're not seeing there, definitely email us, and we can kind of look at that as an issue and kind of see, kind of go into your account with you at that time and kind of look to see what's there. But yeah, we'll just check it out, see what we can find. All right. Oh, and then there's a follow-up to that where those categories show up. Okay, I see that on those category ones. I think in our last session, I'll just kind of throw out a question I got on last session on Tuesday, was how, what is the quality of the images that are going to be, what is the quality of the images that are going to upload in? And that question, it all depends on the setting on the user's camera. Now, sometimes, depending on how, being that it's taking the photo off the device, it's going to take probably the original size, whatever your settings are set at there. We have found that in times where if you're on iPhone or iPad and attach an image, it'll give you options to choose default and small, medium, large, and original. If they do it that way, they have to go original size in that. But going through the app, it should just take the original photo that's there at the setting that the user. So what you may have to do is go through some of these, when you put the word out, get the message out about the app, or if you do your own flyer, you might just mention, please check camera settings on your phone, make sure you have the highest, and that way we get the best looking and best quality images to the yearbook. Okay. And I'm not seeing any other questions show up here at the moment. So I'm trying to think if there's anything from the last session that we didn't cover. Okay. Sorry. Here, Kathleen, I see you're on here again. Okay. That's a good question on why. I wasn't aware that you'd stepped away there. If you can send us an email to our technical support address, that's technicalsupport@memorybook.com. We can then kind of take a look at that here after the webinar, kind of see what's going on. We can take a look at it for you and kind of see why it has, why it hasn't, or maybe they're just somewhere in the program we're not seeing. But no, definitely, yeah, send us an email. That way we can check it out as a tech support issue, kind of see if there's not anything kind of underlying there. But okay, well, I'm not haven't had any more questions pop in at the moment. So thank you again for joining me today, and hopefully by showing you these examples of the desktop site and the app, this will help kind of ease in and really help you all get more photos. More parents, teachers, students that are using the app. Hopefully this is going to be a better and way to get you, more and more photos, add memories, to your yearbook. So feel free to join us next week as we're going to be going over our Getting Started live webinar, in which we'll review logging into the program, familiarization with the page ladder, font selection, creating an image share account, and transferring material from a 2017 MBO account to your current 2018 account. And also go over the importance of sending in your class photo CD to us. So thank you again, everybody, for joining me today, and you have a great evening. Take care.